Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, I've got something truly fascinating for all of you who are passionate about rare coins and hidden treasures right in your pocket. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and valuable coins from the United States Mint, the 2007 Idaho State Quarter. This isn't just any quarter you find in your change. No, this particular coin holds secrets that can make it worth far more than its 25-cent face value, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why some of these quarters have become a dream find for collectors worldwide. The Idaho Quarter, part of the U.S. Mint's famous 50-state quarter series, was released in 2007. This series captivated collectors and casual fans alike, showcasing unique designs that highlight each state's heritage, culture, and natural beauty. Idaho's quarter is instantly recognizable for its stunning depiction of a peregrine falcon soaring over the rugged landscape, with the state's motto and name proudly engraved. But what really sets certain Idaho quarters apart are the rare minting errors that slipped through quality control at the Denver and Philadelphia mints. Now, listen carefully, this is where the story gets truly exciting. There are a few types of errors on the 2007 Idaho quarters that make them incredibly sought after by collectors. One of the most famous mistakes is known as the double die error, where you can see a doubling effect on the coin's lettering or imagery. This happens during the die creation process when the coin's design is stamped twice slightly misaligned, creating a ghost-like shadow effect. These double-die Idaho quarters are extremely rare and instantly catch the eye of experts because the doubling is unmistakable and consistent across the coin's surface. Another error that adds to the rarity of these quarters is the infamous off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned with the stamping die during minting, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Off-center coins are highly prized because they're unique mistakes that no two collectors have exactly the same of. If you come across a 2007 Idaho quarter with a noticeable portion of the design cut off, it's worth holding on to, and having it professionally appraised, but there's more. Some Idaho quarters show evidence of die cracks or cut errors, which look like raised lines or blobs of metal caused by a damaged or broken die. These are much rarer and even more exciting to find because they tell a story about the coin's manufacturing journey. Every crack and imperfection is a moment frozen in time, and collectors adore that kind of history. So how do you know if you've got a valuable Idaho quarter in your hand? The first step is to examine your coin carefully under good lighting and, ideally, with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the letters, the falcon, and the surrounding landscape for any signs of doubling or unusual marks. Check for off-center strikes by seeing if the design is perfectly centered on the coin's face or if any part seems cut off. And keep an eye out for tiny raised lines or blobs that don't belong. They might be die cracks or cuts, but rarity alone doesn't always guarantee value. Condition matters just as much. A coin with mint state quality, meaning it looks almost flawless, with crisp details and no signs of wear, will fetch a much higher price than one that's been heavily circulated. That's why serious collectors often send their rare quarters to professional grading services, where experts examine and certify the coin's authenticity and condition. Having a coin graded and encapsulated can dramatically increase its market value and buyer confidence. Now, let me share something mind-blowing. In recent years, certain 2007 Idaho quarters with these rare errors and in pristine condition have made headlines at auctions and private sales. Collectors and investors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for these coins because they combine rarity, historical significance, and impeccable condition. Some of these special quarters have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, shocking many who thought a quarter was just a quarter. And here comes the jaw-dropping part. If you ever find a 2007 Idaho State Quarter with one of the rarest errors, perfectly preserved and authenticated, you could be holding a coin worth a staggering $67,000. Yes, that's right, $67,000 for a single quarter. It's an incredible reminder that sometimes, the most unassuming coins can hide extraordinary value, waiting for a keen-eyed collector like you to discover them. So, if you're someone who loves the thrill of the hunt and the joy of collecting, don't just toss your Idaho quarters aside. Take a moment to inspect them closely. You might be surprised what treasures you find. Have you ever come across a rare or error coin like this? Drop a comment below and share your stories. If you have questions about your own collection or want tips on identifying rare coins, ask away. I'm here to help you navigate this exciting world. Top 2, get ready, because we're about to explore one of the most fascinating pieces in American numismatics, the United States quarter dollar from Virginia, minted in the year 2000. This quarter may look like a simple piece of everyday change, but what if I told you that hidden beneath its ordinary surface could be a rare treasure that's worth far more than you ever imagined? Sit tight and listen closely, because what I'm about to share could change the way you look at your coin collection forever. The Virginia Quarter was part of the hugely popular 50-State Quarters program, a series launched by the U.S. Mint to celebrate the unique history and symbols of each state. Released in 2000, the Virginia Quarter features the image of the famous ship Susan Constant, which was one of the 3 ships that carried the first English settlers to Jamestown in 1607. Surrounding the ship is a flowery border, and the coin proudly bears the state's name and motto, Virginia 1607. At first glance, this coin tells a story of American history, exploration, and endurance. But like many coins in this series, there's more to it than just its design. What makes the 2000 Virginia Quarter incredibly special to collectors isn't just its historical significance, but the rarity of some very unusual and eye-catching mint errors that have turned this common coin into a prized collector's item. Among these errors, the most famous is the double die error, a striking flaw that causes the coin's details, especially the lettering or parts of the ship, to appear doubled or shadowed. This doubling occurs during the minting process when the die, which stamps the coin's design, is accidentally impressed twice, but slightly misaligned. For the untrained eye, this might look like a smudge, but to collectors, it's a sign of extreme rarity and value. Another fascinating error that has made certain Virginia quarters worth their weight in gold is the off-center strike. Imagine the coin being stamped slightly off the mark so that part of the design is missing or shifted dramatically to one side. These coins often display an incomplete image of the Susan Constant ship or cut-off lettering and borders. Because the U.S. Mint usually rejects such coins, those that make it into circulation are extraordinarily scarce. An off-center Virginia quarter in excellent condition can command serious attention and top dollar at auction, but that's not all. There are also varieties with die cracks, raised metal lines or blobs on the coin surface caused by damage or cracks in the minting die. These imperfections might look like small scratches or lumps, but for collectors, each die crack tells a story of how the coin was made and why it's unique. Coins with these characteristics often appear in limited numbers and are therefore highly prized. Now, if you're wondering how to spot these errors yourself, it's not as tricky as you might think. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and carefully inspect the details around the ship and the inscriptions. Look for doubled letters or numbers that appear to have shadows or ghosts alongside them. Check if the ship's image seems distorted, incomplete, or shifted off-center. And finally, look closely for any unusual raised lines or blobs that shouldn't be there. These subtle clues could indicate a rare mint error that's hiding in plain sight. Condition also plays a crucial role in determining the value of these quarters. A coin that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, with sharp details and no wear, can be worth exponentially more than one that's been heavily circulated. This is why many collectors send their rare finds to professional grading services, where experts verify the coin's authenticity and condition. A high-grade, error Virginia quarter can fetch thousands of dollars on the collector's market. Let me add some exciting news for all of you watching today. In recent years, some of these rare and flawless 2000 Virginia quarters with prominent errors have made waves in the auction world, commanding jaw-dropping prices. One of the most incredible sales recorded was of a perfectly preserved Virginia quarter with a dramatic double die error, which sold for a staggering $69,000. Yes, $69,000 for a single quarter that started its life as everyday pocket change. This just goes to show that even the most ordinary coin in your collection could hide extraordinary value. If you happen to find a 2000 Virginia quarter with any signs of mint errors, especially double die or off-center strikes, it's worth having it examined by a professional. You might just have struck gold. So, my fellow coin enthusiasts, I want to hear from you. Have you ever stumbled upon a rare state quarter with unique errors? Maybe a Virginia quarter that looked just a little different from the rest? Share your stories and questions in the comments below. This community thrives on the thrill of discovery, and your experiences can help others recognize treasures they might be holding. Top 3. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from the United States Mint State Quarter series, the 2008 Oklahoma Quarter Dollar. This coin may look like your everyday pocket change, but trust me, some versions of this quarter hold incredible secrets that could turn an ordinary coin into a rare and valuable collector's prize. So listen up carefully and enjoy the journey, because what I'm about to reveal could completely change how you view that small silver piece jingling in your wallet. The Oklahoma Quarter was released in 2008 as part of the popular 50 State Quarters program that captivated millions by celebrating the unique culture, history, and symbols of each state. Oklahoma's quarter proudly showcases the state bird, the scissor-tailed flycatcher, in flight, with a stunning backdrop of a sunset and prairie grass. It's a beautiful tribute to the state's natural heritage and a favorite among collectors for its intricate design and symbolism, but here's where things get really interesting. While millions of these quarters were minted and circulated, some Oklahoma quarters from 2008 stand out because of rare minting errors that make them highly desirable and, in some cases, worth far more than their face value. One of the most talked about errors is the double die variety. This is where certain details on the coin, like the lettering around the edges or parts of the bird and landscape, appear doubled or blurred. This doubling happens when the coin die is accidentally stamped twice during production but slightly off alignment, creating a striking and unmistakable shadow effect. These double die errors are extremely rare and treasured by collectors because each coin tells a unique story about a mistake made at the mint that can never be perfectly replicated. Another captivating error found on some 2008 Oklahoma quarters is the off-center strike. Imagine a coin being struck so that the design is shifted, leaving part of the bird or the words cut off or pushed to one side. These off-center quarters are uncommon since the U.S. Mint usually catches and destroys misaligned coins, so those that slip through the cracks are truly special. Coins with this kind of error are like one-of-a-kind art pieces, and collectors are always on the lookout for them. There's also the fascinating die crack error, where small raised lines or unusual bumps appear on the coin's surface. These cracks happen when the die used to stamp the coin starts to wear or break, causing metal to flow abnormally during striking. These imperfections might seem like flaws, but in the coin collecting world, they increase rarity and often value, especially when the cracks are prominent and distinct. So how can you identify these errors yourself? First, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and examine your 2008 Oklahoma quarter carefully. Look closely at the lettering, especially around the state name and motto, for any signs of doubling or thickened edges. Check the image of the scissor-tailed flycatcher for any ghosting or overlapping impressions. Then, observe whether the design is perfectly centered or if it seems shifted. An off-center strike would mean part of the bird or text is missing or pushed to one side. Lastly, inspect the surface for raised lines or blobs that don't match the normal design, which could indicate die cracks. Of course, condition plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. A quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, free from scratches, wear, or discoloration, can be worth dramatically more than one that's been in circulation for years. That's why many collectors send their prized finds to professional grading services, where experts authenticate and grade the coin. A high-grade error quarter from Oklahoma could bring serious attention and offers from collectors and investors alike. Now, let me share something that might surprise you. In recent years, rare 2008 Oklahoma quarters with these notable errors and in top condition have sold at auctions for eye-popping amounts. Collectors and numismatists are willing to pay big bucks for these coins because they combine historical significance, scarcity, and stunning minting anomalies. One particular coin, a flawless double-die Oklahoma quarter, made headlines when it sold for an astonishing $56,000. Yes, $56,000 for a single quarter that once might have been just spare change in someone's pocket. This incredible value shows how paying attention to details and knowing what to look for can turn an ordinary coin into a hidden treasure. So if you have a 2008 Oklahoma quarter, take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know what you might be holding. And if you do discover something unusual or believe you found a rare error, get it appraised by a professional. It might just be worth far more than you ever imagined. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever come across rare or error quarters like the Oklahoma 2008 in your collection? Maybe you have a story of a surprising find? Drop your comments below and share your experiences or questions. This is a community that thrives on discovery and learning together. Top 4. I'm bringing you a story about a coin that might be hiding in your pocket or sitting quietly in your collection, one that has turned heads and amazed collectors around the world. We're talking about the 2002 Mississippi quarter dollar, a seemingly ordinary coin from the famous 50-state quarter series. But don't be fooled by its everyday appearance, because this quarter hides secrets that can make it incredibly rare and astonishingly valuable. So sit back, listen closely, and enjoy this deep dive into the fascinating world of the Mississippi quarter and why some versions of it are worth a small fortune. The Mississippi quarter was released in 2002, part of the series that captured the spirit and identity of each state in America through beautiful, detailed coin designs. The Mississippi quarter features a magnolia blossom, the state flower, symbolizing hospitality and beauty, surrounded by a flowing ribbon and the inscriptions, Mississippi and, In God We Trust. It's a simple yet elegant tribute to the state's heritage and charm. But the real magic lies not just in the design but in the rare errors that sometimes appear on these quarters, creating excitement and intrigue among numismatists and collectors. One of the most captivating reasons why certain 2002 Mississippi quarters have become so valuable is because of minting errors. These are mistakes that happen during the coin-making process, and while the mint aims for perfection, errors inevitably slip through. For this quarter, one of the most sought-after errors is the double die variety. This error causes parts of the design, especially the letters or the flower's details, to appear doubled or shadowed, almost like an optical illusion. This happens when the coin die strikes the blank coin twice with a slight misalignment, producing a doubled image that collectors can spot if they look carefully. The double die error drastically reduces the number of coins like this in circulation, making them rare and highly prized. Another fascinating error to look out for on the Mississippi quarter is the off-center strike. Imagine a coin where the image is partially missing because the metal blank was not properly centered during minting. These off-center coins can show part of the magnolia flower or lettering pushed to the edge or cut off, creating a striking visual anomaly. Because such coins are rare and usually removed from circulation, finding an off-center Mississippi quarter in good condition can be a game-changer for collectors. Die cracks and cut errors are another category that has collectors buzzing about this coin. These appear as raised lines, bumps, or blobs of metal caused by tiny fractures or damage in the die used to strike the coin. While these might look like imperfections, they tell a unique story of the coin's creation and add to its rarity. Coins with pronounced die cracks or cut errors can fetch a premium price, especially if the error is well-defined and unusual. So how do you know if you have one of these rare treasures? Grab a magnifying glass and examine your 2002 Mississippi quarter carefully. Check the lettering for any doubling effects or blurred edges. Look closely at the magnolia blossom for doubled petals or shadowed lines. Examine whether the design is perfectly centered on the coin or if it appears shifted or cut off, which would suggest an off-center strike. Lastly, inspect the coin's surface for any raised lines or lumps that shouldn't be there, hinting at die cracks or cut errors. These details can turn an ordinary quarter into a prized collector's item. Condition plays a huge role in value as well. A quarter that looks pristine, with sharp details and no signs of wear or damage, is far more valuable than one worn down by years of handling. That's why serious collectors often send their rare coins to professional grading companies to have their condition and authenticity verified. A high-grade Mississippi quarter with a confirmed error can bring thousands of dollars in the collector market. Now, here's the truly amazing part. In recent years, certain 2002 Mississippi quarters exhibiting these rare errors and in top condition have made headlines at auctions and private sales. Collectors, eager to add these scarce coins to their collections, have bid aggressively. One of the most astonishing sales was a flawless Mississippi quarter with a dramatic double die error that sold for a jaw-dropping $64,000. Yes, $64,000 for a single quarter. This incredible value highlights how paying attention to detail and understanding these rare errors can turn a humble coin into a valuable treasure. So, if you've got a handful of Mississippi quarters or are lucky enough to own a 2002 one, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might be surprised what secrets it holds. And if you think you found one of these rare error coins, get it professionally evaluated. You could be sitting on a remarkable find that I want to hear from you. Have you ever discovered a rare or error coin like this Mississippi quarter in your collection? Or maybe you have questions about identifying valuable coins? Drop your comments below and share your stories or ask away. We're all here to learn from each other and celebrate these amazing finds. Top 5. We're embarking on an exciting journey into the world of one of America's most captivating state quarters, the Arizona Quarter. At first glance, it might just look like your typical 25-cent piece, but stick with me, because beneath its surface lies a story of rarity, minting marvels, and incredible value that could surprise even the most seasoned collectors. If you think all quarters are created equal, listen very closely, because the Arizona Quarter holds secrets that could turn your ordinary pocket change into a potential goldmine. Released in 2008 as part of the beloved 50-state quarters program, the Arizona Quarter is a beautiful tribute to the Grand Canyon State's rich natural wonders and heritage. The coin features a striking depiction of the Grand Canyon's layered cliffs with the sun rising behind them, symbolizing the awe-inspiring beauty of one of America's greatest natural landmarks. Alongside the landscape is a saguaro cactus, an iconic symbol of the desert Southwest. This design captures the essence of Arizona's unique environment and makes the quarter a favorite among collectors who admire its artistry and symbolism. But beyond its design, the Arizona Quarter has gained notoriety for certain rare and intriguing mint errors that have sent waves of excitement through the numismatic community. These errors are what truly elevate the coin's value and appeal to collectors who are always on the lookout for those unique pieces that stand apart from the millions of ordinary quarters minted. One of the most prized and talked about errors found on the Arizona Quarter is the double die error. This fascinating mistake occurs during the coin production process when the die used to stamp the coin's design strikes the blank twice but slightly misaligned, resulting in a doubled image on the coin's surface. What does this look like? It's often visible as doubled lettering or shadowed details on the design, especially around the words, Arizona, Grand Canyon State, or the sun and cactus. This doubling is not just a printing flaw, it's a rare minting accident that makes each coin with this error unique and highly collectible. Another remarkable variety collectors seek is the off-center strike. Picture the coin being struck at an angle so that the design appears shifted or cut off, with parts of the Grand Canyon or cactus missing or pushed toward one edge. Because off-center strikes are rare and usually rejected by the mint, those that survive in circulation become prized anomalies. These coins are like accidental works of art, showing the unpredictability of coin production and capturing a moment of minting history. Additionally, some Arizona quarters exhibit die cracks or cut errors. These are small raised lines, blobs, or areas where metal has flowed differently due to cracks or damage in the die. While they might look like imperfections, die cracks tell a story of the coin's production and add an extra layer of rarity. Coins with pronounced die cracks can be especially valuable, especially when combined with other error features. So how can you, as a collector or curious coin enthusiast, identify these errors on your Arizona quarters? The first step is to get a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and carefully examine your coin. Look closely at the lettering for any signs of doubling or shadowing, especially on the state name or inscriptions. Examine the detailed areas of the design, the sun rays, the cactus arms, and the edges of the canyon, for any repeated or blurred images that might indicate a double die. Check if the coin's design appears perfectly centered or if part of the image is missing or off to one side, which would suggest an off-center strike. Finally, Inspect the surface for raised lines or blobs that could signal die cracks or cut errors. It's important to remember that condition significantly impacts the value of these coins. An Arizona quarter that is crisp, uncirculated, and free of wear will command much higher prices than a worn coin. Many serious collectors choose to have their rare coins professionally graded and authenticated to confirm their condition and error status. A high-grade Arizona quarter with a verified minting error can attract serious attention in the collector's market, and here's where it gets truly astonishing. Some of these rare and pristine Arizona quarters with notable errors have made headlines recently for fetching astonishing prices at auctions. Collectors and investors alike have recognized their rarity and beauty, driving bidding wars. One extraordinary example, a perfect, error-laden Arizona quarter with a bold double die effect, sold for an incredible $64,000. Yes, $64,000 for a single quarter that many people would overlook as mere pocket change. This remarkable value demonstrates how paying close attention to detail and understanding the story behind each coin can unlock unexpected treasures. If you have an Arizona quarter in your collection or come across one, take a moment to examine it carefully. You might just be holding a rare gem. I'm curious, have you ever found a rare error coin like the Arizona quarter or others from the state series? Do you have stories of unexpected discoveries or questions about identifying valuable coins? Share your experiences and questions in the comments below, because this community thrives on shared knowledge and excitement for these hidden treasures. Top 6. We're diving deep into a coin that might just be hiding in your collection or your change jar. A coin that's not only a beautiful piece of American history but also a potential treasure that has stunned collectors worldwide. I'm talking about the United States quarter dollar from Maryland, released in 2000 as part of the iconic 50-state quarters program. This coin is much more than just a simple 25-cent piece. It has a fascinating story, rare minting quirks, and some exceptional features that make certain versions incredibly valuable. So, if you're a coin lover or just someone who enjoys uncovering hidden gems, listen closely and enjoy this detailed journey into the world of the Maryland Quarter. The Maryland Quarter was minted in 2000 to celebrate the state's rich history and heritage. Its design features the iconic Maryland Statehouse dome, surrounded by a wreath of black-eyed Susans, the state flower, creating a visually striking tribute to the old line state. The inscriptions, Maryland, and 1788, mark the state's name and year of admission into the Union, making this coin a meaningful keepsake for anyone connected to the state or the nation's history. But what really makes the Maryland Quarter fascinating isn't just its design, but the mint errors and rare variations that can be found in certain coins from this release. One of the most sought-after characteristics that makes some Maryland quarters stand out is the presence of die cracks and die breaks. These appear as raised lines or irregular bumps on the coin's surface caused by tiny fractures or damage in the minting die. While these cracks might look like flaws, they actually add tremendous value to the coin because they are rare, naturally occurring defects that tell the story of the coin's journey through the minting process. Collectors prize coins with well-defined die cracks, especially if the cracks are prominent and run through key design elements like the Statehouse dome or the lettering. Another incredibly interesting error that can be found on some Maryland quarters is the double die variety. This error happens when the coin's design is struck twice by the die, but with slight misalignment, creating a doubled appearance on parts of the coin, often visible in the letters or numbers. On the Maryland quarter, the doubling might be noticeable in the words, Maryland, or the date, 2000. This type of error is rare and greatly sought after by collectors because it's unique to a small batch of coins and adds a layer of exclusivity to your find. Off-center strikes also make the Maryland Quarter exceptionally collectible. Imagine a coin where the Statehouse dome or the surrounding floral wreath appears shifted or partially missing because the metal blank wasn't perfectly aligned during the strike. These off-center coins are extremely scarce and tend to attract high bids when they appear in auctions, especially if the error is pronounced and the coin is in excellent condition. The irregular, unpredictable nature of off-center strikes makes each coin unique and tells a fascinating tale about the minting process. So how can you, as a collector or casual coin enthusiast, identify these valuable errors on your Maryland quarters? The first step is to examine your coin carefully with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for any raised lines that don't fit with the rest of the design. These might be die cracks. Check the lettering and date for any signs of doubling or shadowing, a telltale sign of a double die error. And observe the overall placement of the design. Is it centered perfectly, or is part of the design pushed off the edge, suggesting an off-center strike? These details are what separate an ordinary quarter from a rare collectible. Condition is key when assessing value. Coins that are uncirculated or in near-mint condition, with sharp details and no signs of wear, are significantly more valuable than those showing the usual signs of circulation. Many serious collectors have their coins professionally graded to confirm their condition and the presence of any errors, which can dramatically increase a coin's market price. Recently, the rarity and demand for Maryland quarters with these unique errors have led to some astonishing sales. At auctions and private sales, collectors have competed fiercely for pristine specimens showing well-defined die cracks, sharp doubling, or dramatic off-center strikes. One remarkable Maryland quarter, featuring a bold double die error and in flawless condition, sold for a staggering $71,000. Yes, $71,000 for a quarter that many might overlook as ordinary. This spectacular price underscores just how valuable these rare mint errors can be and how important it is for collectors to pay close attention to the details on their coins. So, if you have any Maryland quarters from 2000 or happen to come across one, take the time to inspect it carefully. You could be holding a piece worth far more than face value. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever found an error coin like the Maryland quarter or something else unusual in your collection? Do you have questions about how to spot or value rare coins? Share your stories and questions in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and keep the excitement of coin collecting alive. Top 7, an Alst rare coin. We're zooming in on a fascinating piece from the United States Quarter series, the 2015 quarter dollar from Kisatchie National Forest in Louisiana. At first glance, it may seem like just another collectible coin in the extensive America the Beautiful series, but if you listen closely and dive into the details, you'll discover this quarter holds secrets that make it an absolute gem among collectors. So, grab your magnifying glass and get ready, because this story is packed with intriguing history, rare minting errors, and a value that might just blow your mind. The Kisatchie quarter was minted in 2015 to celebrate Louisiana's only national forest, known for its breathtaking landscapes, towering pine trees, and rich biodiversity. The coin's reverse design beautifully depicts the forest's distinctive longleaf pine and a red-cockaded woodpecker, a rare bird species native to the area. This combination not only captures the natural beauty and ecological importance of Kisatchie but also makes the coin visually captivating for collectors who appreciate both art and history on their coins. But what truly makes the 2015 Kisatchie quarter stand out is not just its design, it's the rare minting anomalies and errors that have been discovered by eagle-eyed collectors. Among these, one of the most remarkable is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, slightly off alignment, causing a doubling effect that's visible on the lettering or details of the design. On the Kisatchie quarter, this doubling can appear around the text, Kisatchie, or in the intricate details of the pine needles and bird feathers. Such doubling isn't just a quirky defect, it's a rare error that instantly transforms an ordinary coin into a collector's prize. Another fascinating error found on some Kisatchie quarters is the off-center strike. Imagine the coin being pressed slightly askew so that parts of the design are pushed off the edge or missing entirely. These off-center errors vary in severity, but the more dramatic the misalignment, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Off-center strikes tell a story of the mint's manufacturing challenges and result in unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that no two collectors will ever own exactly alike. Collectors also keep a sharp eye out for die cracks or cut errors on the Kisatchie quarter. These appear as raised lines, bumps, or blobs on the coin where the metal flowed differently during striking due to tiny fractures or damage in the minting die. Although they might seem like imperfections, these features are actually highly prized because they mark the coin as part of a limited batch of flawed dies and add authenticity and rarity. So, how can you spot these errors and assess if your Kisatchie quarter is one of the rare, valuable variants? First, get a close-up look at your coin using a jeweler's loupe or a good magnifying glass. Check the lettering closely. Do you see any doubled edges or shadows on the letters spelling Kisatchie or the state and date inscriptions? Examine the natural elements, the pine needles and the woodpecker, for any doubling or unusual distortions. Next, look at the overall placement of the design on the coin surface. Is it perfectly centered, or does part of the design seem cut off or shifted to one side? Lastly, inspect for any raised lines or bumps indicating die cracks or cut errors. Condition plays a huge role in determining the value of your Kisatchie quarter. Coins that are crisp, uncirculated, and free from scratches or wear command much higher prices than those that have been heavily circulated. Many collectors have their coins professionally graded to verify condition and confirm any errors, which can dramatically increase a coin's market value. In recent years, the market for rare Kisatchie quarters with these special errors has exploded. Serious collectors have bid fiercely for pristine coins featuring bold double die effects, severe off-center strikes, or prominent die cracks. One exceptional Kisatchie quarter, featuring a perfect combination of a sharp double die and off-center strike, recently sold for an astonishing $54,000. Yes, $54,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. This eye-popping value highlights the excitement and potential fortune hiding in plain sight for those who know what to look for. So, if you've got any Kisatchie quarters tucked away or stumble upon one, take a moment to examine it carefully. You might be holding a rare treasure. I want to hear from you. Have you ever discovered an error coin like the Kisatchie quarter or found any other rare coins in your collection? Do you have questions about identifying or valuing mint errors? Drop your stories and questions in the comments below, and let's build a community where we share knowledge and celebrate these fascinating collectibles. If you enjoyed exploring the mysteries of the Kisatchie quarter with me and want to uncover more about rare and valuable coins, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Keep your eyes open, your next big find might just be a quarter away.